Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me this month. I'm just going to say that having both of my children home, one is 6, almost 7, and the other one is 16, and doing their homeschooling and stuff has been extremely stressful, and I have not been able to work. And working for me is therapy, because if I'm painting, I am in therapy. So what I've got here is a perfectly round stone. You can definitely use a molded stone from the Happy Dotting Company molds because they are fantabulous. Don't forget to use my discount code Rachel's Rocks Canada if you're shopping on Etsy at Happy Dotting Company. Make sure you don't forget about that. Also, if you don't have a perfect stone or a molded stone, you can just draw a big circle and then do 2 circles, one bigger than the other one, like I've done here. And so keep your center dot and then draw 1 circle and then another circle. And that is just to spruce up the mandala stone that we are painting and creating today. If you've seen my recent TikTok that I posted, I am very new to TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing. But if you're on TikTok, I am Rachel Mitchell number 2, Rachel Mitchell 2. And you can visit me there and see what I've posted. I'm going to try and post more stuff and share more stuff. But this one's on there, and it's all sped up real fast so that you can see the work very, very quickly. But here you get the real deal. You get to see how I do it. You get to see the colors I used, and I help you create one of your own. So you don't have to use the same colors I'm choosing today. I know my stone is going to be very dark once I seal it, but I'm starting off with a very dark black background because the dots pop right off of that. So the stone itself has like a textured look to it. It's a very smooth stone, but it kind of looks like marble or granite once it's sealed. And I don't want to take away from the design that we're creating in this spot. So all of this area is going to be black. I'm outlining my circles again using gold paint. Use whatever colors you want, but today I'm choosing kind of colors that remind me of spring. So we're going to start with some white dots. We're going to make sure that that gold and black is dry before you start anything. And I'm going to start with a big white dot in the center. So we just covered up our center dot. Now I'm using a toothpick and I'm going all the way around. And as you can see, I started with like north, south, east, west. And then I went in between those dots and in between those dots. And now it's like pretty equal around the whole thing. So now I'm using a bigger dotting tool. You can use pencils. You can use pens that don't work anymore. You can use knitting needles. You can use the ends of your paintbrushes, fine toothpicks, stuff like that you can use to make all these dots. You don't have to go out and buy dotting tools if you're not ready to, because I definitely didn't right away. But I used to use them for my nails a long time ago. So when I realized that, oh my goodness, I can just use these, they work fabulous and they come in all different sizes. I get mine from Amazon. I will leave a link in the description for everything you need in order to create this, except for the rock. But I will leave my link to Happy Dotting Company's Etsy shop with my discount code. So what I've done is I started with white, then I've been adding a little bit of saffron yellow just to darken up each layer of dots. So I did a light yellow and now I'm doing a little bit darker and a little bit bigger than the last row. So just stay in between your last row's dots. Go in between those dots. And sorry if I go out of view, I'm a dummy. So I'm adding more yellow and I'm going to do another round, little bit bigger in between all of those dots. And it ends up being fairly symmetrical. I'm not using any kind of template or tracing anything on there to work with. This is just going by eye and hand. I don't know what I'm talking about, you guys. And if you've been to my channel for any length of time, you know this already. And I'm pretty sure you forgive me. Or at least I hope you do. I have missed you guys. It has been very hectic in my house. My husband's doing some online training here at home in between his essential calls because he works for Enbridge, which is the gas company. So he is an essential worker and he's going out fixing emergency leaks and stuff like that, and doing some online training here. So if you've seen my Facebook, you probably saw a picture of not only my son sitting at the table. Sorry about it being blurry, guys. It's going to clear up very, very soon. I'm actually using Martha Stewart color right now, and it's called Candy Apple. It's a very nice, it's like a reddish pink color, very vibrant. And I'm sorry that it didn't focus on the stone at this point, but you'll see it in a second, I promise. Anyway, back to my kids. They were all sitting at the kitchen table with their laptops open, doing their online schooling. And there's my husband doing his online training as well. So all three of them sitting at the kitchen table. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't have any peace and quiet in my house. And, you know, if I sneeze, I have to make sure that nobody was like they weren't unmuted from their Zoom call at school. Yeah, I have to be super careful, tippy toe around. I'm not getting a lot of work done. But, you know, doing the best we all can, I'm sure. I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy, staying home, and not letting any stress get to you. I'm not going to bring up any kind of stressful stuff in this video because I just want y'all to be happy. And I want y'all to like color and just flow with me. So this is jungle green. I did use a nice deep purple earlier. As you can see, it's very wet. I have my notifications on, guys. Big surprise. So I'm going around the big purple dots. As you can see, I just made the dots bigger as I went along. Went from the candy apple red to the purple. And now I'm doing the jungle green. I'm doing just little dots with my dotting tool. I start at the bottom center one, doing a bigger dot at the center. And then I run out of paint as I go up around the circle. So the dots get smaller. So as long as you have a decent consistency with your paint, you'll be able to dot pretty easily. Sometimes I have to add a little bit of water to my paint in the paint tray, just so that I can get the right consistency for dotting. It depends on what brand of paint you choose to use. You can also buy mediums that make your paint thicker or thinner, but I don't like to spend money. I don't like to spend money on that kind of stuff. If a little dab of water will do, a little dab will do ya. So now I am going to take my fine lining brush, which I have a tutorial for. So if you haven't seen it, I will link it in the description as well. Just take a look at my videos list when you go to my channel. Hit videos and all of my videos are there. I'm pretty sure I have over 200 videos now, but I haven't counted them. So I'm just going down to that gold line that we did at the very beginning. So there we go. That part is done. It looks confusing, but if you slow it down and you take your time, it's really not as hard as it looks. All of these mandala stones are crazy looking, but if you sit down and take your time, they're actually really fun. They're really, really fun. And you can change them up so much by layering dots on top of dots, different colors, choose a whole different palette of colors and do the exact same design as this, and it will look totally different. So I have extended some petals out. Two of the purple dots with the teal dots around them are inside of this petal. So I just drag down this petal and now I striped it. And what I've done is I've striped it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. And I'm going to just put white, yellow, candy apple red, purple, then teal. And I'm going to do that in the same thing with each petal that I've brought down to that second line in black. These are really going to stand out on that black, I promise you. So each one is just going to have a nice little like stripes of color, and I'm going to go around and do the same thing to every single petal. So try and keep your lines thin, but you can actually cover up some of the gold if they weren't very thin or if they aren't very even. You can just cover up that with color and then restripe it with gold afterwards. So I usually do one color at a time. Go around, do the next color, go around, do the next color. Sorry if this makes anyone dizzy, and I'm not trying to cause anyone to have seizures of any kind. You can definitely slow down my video, but you're going to want to mute my voice so I don't sound like a monster. So yeah, this is looking pretty darn colorful. I will be adding some glitter very, very soon. It's just going to be hologram 2796 because I always have that at my desk and it's beautiful. But we'll be adding dots of hologram 2796 very, very soon. I'm just making sure that every stripe has its color, and then I'm going to outline the gold to make sure that the gold is still nice and crisp after I've done all these stripes of color. So I do apologize once again for how fast this is going. I actually work pretty fast when I create my own mandalas, so it's fun. So I'm just making sure everything is the way it should be, cleaning up some of my gold with some black paint, because some of them are a little thicker than I'd like them to be. Not that there's anything against anything that's thick. Don't come for me. Oh, you guys, I have missed you so much. I have a list of tutorials that I'm waiting to get painted, and hopefully you'll be seeing me again this week. I'm really hoping, praying. So I'm going to layer some dots. I'm just going to use some gold. I put gold on the purple. These dots are a little bigger than what the other ones are going to be, but I'm just going to randomly put a little bit of gold in the mix here. You can see where I'm adding those dots. So in between the candy apple dots and in between the second in yellow dots, you can put them wherever you want to. I'm just telling you to create something that's beautiful. That's all. You don't have to copy what I'm doing. You don't have to put the dots exactly where I put them because that's just silly. You can do whatever you want. So let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Let me know if it's just a little too much for you. I have a few other mandala tutorials as well if you want to take a look in my video description or in my video list, sorry, and there's lots to choose from. Some are easy, some are difficult, some you think are going to be difficult and they're not. So I'm adding big white dots in between all of those just to bring the white down a little bit. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did with those teal dots earlier when I surrounded the purple with the teal, except for I'm going to use every color that we used again in the stripey area. So it goes white, then yellow, then orange, then candy apple red, then purple, then teal. And I'm going to just surround large gold dots. You'll be able to see them very, very soon. You might notice that one of my dotting tools has a little bit of a curve on the end of it. I literally used like needle nose pliers and bent the tip of my dotting tool because for some reason it helps me dot better, to have a little angle to my dotting. I can see it better. But just be careful because you can snap the tip off if you're not careful with it. But yeah, I just bent mine a little bit. So you're not going to see the whole process of me dotting each and every one because I skipped past that to not bore you all. But I'm adding a black dot in the center of each one of those big gold dots, and I just added a center gold dot as well. And now we're going to add some glitter. So a lot of you guys have seen me use this in a lot of my tutorials. I love hologram 2796. It's like a teal diamond-like glitter, and it looks gross right now. It's not dry, so it looks like glue when it's wet, full of little teal glitter pieces. So when it dries, it looks totally different. So instead of just filling that in just fill it in with a paintbrush, I've decided to dot it, and then once it's dry, you'll see a nice little dotted glittery design there. You don't have to do that. It's totally up to you. But this is what it looks like once it's dry and sealed with resin. How beautiful is that? The colors really pop out now that I have sealed it with resin. You get to really see how bold and beautiful each color is and how it has its own little place on the stone. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I sealed it with resin. My resin tutorials are in my video list and in the description. I love you guys. I hope to see you very, very soon. Keep painting. Bye.